Hello. Welcome. So join us. We'll see for a hour. So I join here and I join here and I say Wabaha. And Kwaba. So welcome. Join us. Today we want to talk about reading books, knowledge. We'll see the abobra. Okay, kind na ode abobra. And no has any peseka. Okay, kind na ode abobra. And the koyen so it. Okay, kind now the abobra. Reading to change your life. Reading for the needed knowledge, for the required knowledge, so that you can build the life that you want. Okay, up here, yeah, Akwaba, Raz Akwaba, Canaan Chronicles, Akwaba, and then. Yeah, go school and it was good. I hope you had a good week. I hope you had a good week. I think we had one. And Saturdays we make time to just share knowledge, share what we understand. It's better we agree to know what we don't know, so that we can get to where we want to go. The other day I was thinking with Marie, said this session, tree and I say, brofo. Many oftentimes, say, tree and I say, brofo. But once about him, say, other Africans, say, either is life, and I say maybe later, so recently we have seen Ugandans, Kenyans, South Africans join us. And unfortunately, there's not any other African language that we all can speak. As a matter of fact, even the Francophone countries, there's so much that they also need to hear. So thank you. David Fee Kwesen. Adu Samuel Collins Ajimai, Kwame Kodia, Edward Sapon, Sa Kwaku Emmanuel Sana Hoye. So we want to talk about knowledge is key. So if Johnny and you were all almost maybe a fifth of our audios on pen drive. We have a lot of videos too on pen drive that we sell. Until we be na so ntimi to data no bebra obetimi de. It says we movie da bia no obetimi de ahyem kakra no osua. Here and audios no so e bia out there na say phone so kra so obetimi de go so. Obetimi de ahye tape mu now maybe we adwuma mu na o tie. Wo kra so a unam krom a ultimate wo ka mu a ultimate ni nyina eboa because no mana ye sua wa ha no medwen se ehun hia na ehun ntem a abrabo no sesa na ya twere books so this is perspective. This is unya perspective nkan ya wherever you are, wherever you are, we can send to you unlimited opportunities. It's a very small booklet for entrepreneurs. And streamline how to teach yourself money. Sikado, you have to learn. You have to have proper knowledge. If you really, unless you want to be dishonest all your life, but if you really want to apply integrity, morality, honesty, truthfulness, then you have to have higher knowledge, and resilience. You can't just give up. Many people just quit when they go in guess tough. So my name is OBENG DARKO. Today we want to talk about reading for life. Reading for life. And audios no so say obu ha na no say obi catch obi bisa am say na audio no twi wom. Obu a bi ara kenkan no ahoden nim sa. Ahoden nim sa de me ne odi ahenkan ye ne piece of ni nyina. Ye de nyina almost all of them. E ka sa audio pen drive no. Video no so bisa ye ne ya kuna do aye bi ye ne me na for African Americans and they are brofo. And Americans so my so many videos alone, and some of them Zoom, some of them online, so many videos or so many tapes. Maybe Papa be catching them and say, me were former na me boti. Those that we were sending to them were former, even if one is or don't know boti. And that is what we have lived on actually. We have lived on preachings, we have lived on audio, on seminars, on teachings, on YouTube, on all kind of, and we have lived on books. That's why today we want to talk about the importance of you reading books. Books, they change life. Books, they change life. If you didn't have much to start life with, if you didn't have anybody to teach you about life, I'm not talking about you writing to get A and going to university, to read chemistry, physics, engineering, psychology. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you reading for life. Reading for life. You should be taught how to live, and that there are key things that they should teach you about life. Now, if you didn't have anybody, if you didn't have anybody to teach you, maybe your parents, many times Ghanaian parents will teach you about morality. Just like many parents. Don't smoke weed, don't chase girls, don't steal somebody's money, be a good girl. Those are good. But it's not just about morality. It's not just about you not getting pregnant. It's also about you knowing what to do with your life. Knowing what your life is about, knowing how to handle your money, knowing who to take as friend, knowing how to build something, how to handle your finances, how to build anything, how to even think for yourself, and those things many times, if you're not reading, if you don't go beyond the courses that they teach you, life will be difficult. Life will be difficult. So today is about books, it's about reading. My cousin, your school, no matter for books, they are just made of somebody's ideas. So why should I pick a book and read? But the same person was going to lectures, he was going for some professor to teach him, as if the professor is teaching or the course content was not from somebody's discovery. All the things that they teach you in school, they are people's discoveries. They are coming out of people's research, everything that they spent their life to acquire. They put them in book. They have become models for you in school. And so you have to also pick books that you will read for life. So if you are in nursing college, they will tell you that if you pass these courses, then you will come out as maybe a graduate nurse. If you are in training college, they will tell you that if you pass these courses, then you qualify as a trained teacher. If you go to do engineering, they will tell you these are the courses that you have to do for the 4 years. Now, if you pass them, then they say that you're a graduate engineer. Every course that they have designed in the universities, maybe some of them in diploma, SSS, JSS. Just the other day, they finished writing JSS, BEC. There were courses that they had to be tested on because those are the courses that they taught them. Now, those courses, they have to, if they say you qualify, it means that you have sat down and written the exam and you have passed. Now, unfortunately, life as it is, you must also sit down and look at yourself, where you want to go, and the courses that you must take, and life will test you, those courses. And your success or failure will prove whether you pass those courses that life will give you, and so you study for life. Today, we are talking about reading books for life. We are not talking about reading for exam. I want to write ACCA. I want to become a lawyer. We want to talk about life. Life, reading for life. And you should know the things that you must know for life. Many times, most people don't even know. Normal was almost for life. Oh, nti abon se na abrabọ no mo ye den. Abrabọ no mo ye den a kire se onim de wa abrabọ no no. Wa kachi. Wa je na chire. So one of the things that building your mind is you reading. When I meet anybody, when I meet a friend, there are friends that there are some books that you can't discuss with. There are things that you can't discuss with everybody. Why? Because there are some topics that you know that you can't discuss with this friend because they don't read. They don't read. So when you bring any topic, you know who to talk to. Maybe you are also a victim of that. You don't read. I mean, you've just finished school. Whether you finish SSS or JSS or university, maybe the last 10 years, you can't recall one book that you read for life. I'm not talking of morning devotion. I'm not talking of reading of your Bible or your Quran. I'm not talking of something digest. No, I'm talking of reading for life. Reading particular topics for life. So because most of us, life, we want to say, okay, this is what my life is about. I want to know, when you say somebody is successful, many times it's about what the impact that they are making in society, their finances, their health, their relationships, the things that they produce. Critical things that if you see anybody have, you say that this person is successful. You have to have particular knowledge in those if you're going to do them with high moral standards. If you're going to achieve anything with high moral standard, that it's like those of us who say that we are entrepreneurs. If you're going to build businesses with high moral standards, you must have knowledge, and you must continue to have and improve that kind of knowledge. So let's say you want to have health, because you look around, a lot of our people die very young. Many people are dying young now, if you see. And instead of us to question, why is it that many of our people, very young age, 30, 40, 50, 60, and they die? Are we looking at that? Are we asking questions? Are we doing research? Why are they dying? Or we say that, oh, the time now, so so when we go to the church and they preach to Isaiah, so you to prepare, everybody is going to die. We are not fighting back death. We are not fighting back. We are not looking at the things that feed us, the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the roads that we move our cars on, the things that fight against natural cause of life. You're not looking at them. Government is not even looking at them. Government has already given up. They don't even think that is their duty to make sure that their people live long. And many times when you give up so easily, it's because you did not read a lot of books on that subject. So one of the advantages of you reading is because it builds your strength in those particular things that you're reading about. So if your strength is weak in any particular field, it's because you have not gathered enough data in that. And you need a lot of strength in many, many areas of life for you to live life, get results, and not feel frustrated. Because some people can get some results in something, but they go through a lot of frustration. Little things make them panic. Little things make them sad. Very little disagreement and mistakes and opposition weaken them. Why? Because they don't grow in knowledge. And so one of the things, you will build your mental strength when you subject yourself to reading. I'm not talking about reading chemistry here. I'm not talking about reading geography. I'm not talking about reading physics, pharmacology. No, I'm not talking about reading thermodynamics. I'm talking about reading for life. Because that is what is going to make you successful in life. That is what is going to make you successful in life. So if you're a young man today, you are listening to me, who tear me up, there is a lot of knowledge that you have to catch up, especially if you're an African and you're from Ghana, you're from Nigeria, and you live here. Even Africans who live outside, many of them don't go to library. Many of them don't go to bookshops to buy books to read. How many of your mates, tell me, the whole of this year, the whole of the year, how many of your people, that this is my friend, every time he goes to the library or he goes to the bookshop to buy a book? You say that you are even an entrepreneur. Which book how many books have you bought this year that you are reading? In societies where you are prime, you are trained to say that not everything is within your power. That is what happens. because then you're not responsible for anything. But many times when you believe that you are responsible, then your ignorance will show, because then you will go and search for the needed knowledge. So when you read, it builds on mental strength. If you can introduce your children to books, not comedy and novels, no, they have their place. Sometimes we have a lot of people, many times young ladies, they read, but they read novels and love stories. Those are good, but they are not for life so much. You need principles that you have to abide by for life. Principles that will make you strong. Principles that will make you productive. Principles that will make you get results. Those things, you must put them in yourself. And somebody said that if you can read and you don't read, then those who don't know how to read, you're not separate from them, or you're not different from them. If you have the ability to read, now on kaya, when will be a one kind, what do I say? So only making kind as a one fabu could be unkai from a teacher or the lesson of one year. You don't have any book that you read from January to December. Nothing. You don't read on any subject, but you're hoping that your life will change. I firmly believe that many of us, if you look at the structure of the economy, if you don't develop yourself and fight for yourself, and you're waiting for a reliable system, a government to give you job and to make sure that you become prosperous, or some multinational will give you job and you become prosperous, and you are not going to cut corners, it's not going to be. Sometimes they compare our system with the other system. The other systems is not because they are better. It's only because some people have said some things well for them. So they have free money for, or at least loan for house, for car, for those things. You don't have that here. So once you don't have that here, you must build yourself to produce those results. And so one of the best ways to build that knowledge, there are other ways that you can acquire knowledge, but one of the best ones is you having a timetable to say that I'm reading. And I said that between 20 and 30, if you're a young man, that is the time to crunch it, to read a lot, to store knowledge. If you're a young man, from 20 to 30, because with that, you will shift your life. If you're able to accumulate a lot of knowledge for life, from that time, it's not even from 10 to 20, no, because from 10 to 20, many of us are still writing JSS and SSS and those things. But the moment you enter tertiary, or let's say you from 20, tell yourself every month I'm going to read 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, and I'm going to build that knowledge for life. You need to tell yourself that, and it's critical. If you don't do it, from 40 to 50 to 60, your strength will be weak. You only understand few things, and so many things you don't understand. You will not understand. And that's why when you meet a lot of people, complex things, you can't discuss them, because you have not put a lot of knowledge in you. So it's a math. It's about it's one of the most important things that you have to develop as a human being. That you are picking books and you're reading, not to write exam, but you're reading for life. Somebody said that knowledge you have not applied is not needed. I say that some knowledge they will bring clarity. You're able to separate things in your head. You're able to understand a lot of things. The only reason they are able to trick you and lie to you and take advantage of you is because you don't know much. Many of us, the only reason that politicians and the other groups take a lot of advantage of us, they take our time, they take our money, they take a lot of things that we have, is because there's so much that we don't know. And so our confidence is low. And that's why they take advantage of us. That's why they trick us. Today I was talking to somebody. I said that you follow these people, it's because you don't know much. Once you know it, you will know the lies. If you have the truth, you see the lies. And there's no way you are going to build that kind of knowledge. We call something insight. Insight is when you have stored proper knowledge, right principles, and you start to interpret things based on your experience. That is the insight. And once you have insight for life, you will not be in a hurry. You will be open to help people. You'll be honest, straightforward. You will never be jealous of another person doing well. You'll be open-hearted, and you will be a leader. Why? Because you store that knowledge. So learn for life. Read books for life. Read for life. If you have not done it, start. The unfortunate thing is that many of our people that have written books, they are religious. So people are, almost everything is about religion. But I'm talking about reading about finances, reading about finding your life purpose, reading about technical information. Maybe you're a programmer, you're a farmer, you're a trader. The things, the knowledge that you need to be successful in your field, your business person, the things that you need to learn. Marriage, for instance, you have to read books on that for you to become successful in that. Raising your children is the same. You're a politician. If you're not reading proper book, when you get there, you mess up. When you mess up, you destroy everything. You're top CEO. When you are not reading, you're not challenging your thoughts. When you get there, you mess up, and it will show in your results. So critical things that you need in every area. Your health, if you continue to have health problems, your father had it, your sisters have it, everybody has it. It's because there's a certain level of knowledge that you have on health. If you want to break it, you must have a higher knowledge in that. So you go to work, you go to research, say, what food do we eat? At what age do we have to even exercise? Amount of water that we have to drink. There's a lot of things that we have to learn as a people. There's so much that we don't know. When I watch TV and watch YouTube channels and I see Africans So it's reading. So I hope you can hear me. If you're here, I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, okay, you can hear me, that's fine. All right. Please share the channel, let us join. Reading is key. The man who said, before I can form. We read for exam, we read to pass, we don't read for knowledge. Many of us read for fun, many of us read for our religious beliefs, but we don't read for capacity building. We don't read for creativity. We don't read for production. We don't read to be able to organize ourselves in a society. As a matter of fact, if there are any, if a group of people are not so much eager to renew their mind all the time, if they're not so eager to position themselves to become better and update their minds all the time, there will be trouble. If a group of people, somebody said that there's no noise, there's no sound. Is that true? Sebastian, is that true? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. Sebastian is saying there's no sound. So if there is sound, that's fine. Can you hear me? If you hear me, let me know. If you don't hear, can you hear me? There is sound. Okay, yeah, you can hear. All right. So it's a game changer that you have to tell yourself, okay, I started late. There's a lot of things that we need to catch up with as a people. You know, there's a lot of things that we need to catch up with, and much of it is knowledge. Much of it is knowledge. And the second is that many of the books that we have were not written by us. But at least it's better to read them than not reading anything at all, because that is the way that you put the mechanisms of the mind to work. That's the way that you develop your mind. And if you are not, many people, many people say that they have gone to school, but when you engage them, you see that intellectually, they're not there. They're not there. And if intellectually you're not there, there will not be many places that you will be there. So, and this one, you must build it intentionally. All right. Okay, so hopefully we will be able to finish today. The network is, but at least we have time. We started 8, it's still 8:50, so there is time. So you check you and your schoolmates and see how many of them read for life. Look at your workplace. See how many of your colleagues are reading for life. See where you work. Just look. How many of your people are voraciously, reading books for life, trying to find out. Many of us are talking, but we don't read. We don't read. We don't read. We don't read history. We don't read science. We don't read technical knowledge. We don't read anything. Medical doctors, they're not reading about anything, about life. Engineers, they don't read anything. And yet they know everything. Politicians, they are not reading. Because when you're talking, you know that this one is not reading anything. Even the professors, they're not reading. Apart from the course that they teach, they don't read anything. And so I was fascinated that my friends could say that, oh, the book is from somebody's mind. So I don't need it. No. Even if you wrote the book and you read it, it talks to you differently. There are many times that I'll pick any of the books that I've written. And when I'm reading it, I don't read it as if I wrote it. No, I read it because it's a book and it talks to you differently. So any book that you're reading, even in your diary that you have, that you put a lot of your thoughts, if you open them and you start to read that diary, sometimes you ask yourself, did I write this myself or somebody else wrote it? So one of the ways to keep exercising this brain or this mind that God gave you is to continue to read. So draw a structure for the next 10 years. Accumulate a lot of knowledge. Because we are late. There are so many things that we don't know about life. If an outsider comes to Ghana, goes to Nigeria, there are so many things that we do that anybody should tell you that these people are not aware of a lot of things. Whether our teachers or our learners. There's so much data there that we have to consume. So go and get books. When I come to your room, how many books would I see? How many books have you bought this year? Don't just be discussing the nice shoe and tie. Don't just discuss about the weddings, the young women. Don't just discuss about the nails that you're going to change. We are late in knowledge acquisition. We are late. Even it's not the ones that others have developed. Ours that we have to even upgrade, we're still very late. You go through town. One of my aunties, she is a seamstress. Anytime you go there, she's listening to something on radio, that's all. She's showing you no book. She can read barely, she can read a little. I've never seen her with any book. Maybe some Bible somewhere, that's all. She's hoping that her business will grow. You go to your mechanic, he doesn't even open anything. He doesn't believe that he has to read anything. And it fascinates me. Because those of us, we that everybody wants to take whatever that we have from us. And the only way human beings are powerful is based on what they know. The only reason you are where you are today is the knowledge that you possess. If that knowledge is weak, you will be weak. If that knowledge is strong, you'll be strong. The only way that all these countries are trying to push Africans is because they know that we carry there's a lot of things that we are not aware. For instance, look at how Francophone Africa now is fighting. I dare say that much of it is coming from Dr. Arekana's exposition that she did. She brought a lot of things that people were not aware. Even the presidents themselves, the agreements that the African countries signed at the point of independence, she brought them out. And so there's a whole new generation that has caught that, said that we will not sit down and let you continue to do this to us. Who owns the raw materials or the resources that we have? Why are we poor? So the way to lift the people up is to bring knowledge to them. And that knowledge is light. You can only keep a people down by keeping a certain knowledge from them. The knowledge about themselves, the knowledge about their abilities, the knowledge about their environment. So your light is as strong as the knowledge that you possess. And so you cannot say that I'm tired. You live in a country where you only work. You work 16 hours a day. You work 20 hours a day. When you come home, you're tired. You go back, you work every day. You have no time to develop yourself. You do have no time to read anything. The only thing that is going to change is the age and the salary they give you. But your understanding of life will not change. And therefore, you get to a point where you see that life becomes meaningless because you're not growing in knowledge. So tell yourself, there's technology now. Even if you can't buy a hard book, there are so many free books, PDFs online. White people have written a lot of them. Europeans have written a lot of them. No problem. You read them at least and contextualize them. Bring them to your context as an African and see the principles that you can pick and use them. The books that have been written by the Africans, pick them. Whatever that you put before you that you want to build, you want to do, get knowledge, read. Even if you say that you don't like book, one book a year at least you should finish. One book a year you should finish. Challenge yourself. And I'm not talking of religious books. No. I'm talking of you reading something outside religion. Something that will make you say that I'm responsible to do this. I'm going to strategize. I'm going to plan. I'm going to put things in order. I'm going to organize to make sure that things improve, things change. Things beyond you trying to look for some demon to blame. No. I'm talking of something that you say that I'm a human being. This one, I am responsible. I'm going to sit down and plan. If your people are not reading, nothing will change their lives. If your people are not going for knowledge, nothing will change their life. If our young men and women are not obsessed with knowledge, looking for knowledge to do things, create. If you're not looking for knowledge to create, nothing will change. If a lot of people complain about Africa, but we have to know that we need people who are going for knowledge. And one of the best ways to go for knowledge is you as a young man. Tomorrow, go to town, go and look for a book, challenge yourself. There are so many things that you have to know and you have to read about. There are so many things that you have to challenge yourself. I say that I want to read. Even if you don't understand it, read it. Even if you don't understand it, read it. Challenge your mind, because that is the way to stretch you. Live in reality, and the reality is the future that you're creating. The reality, you can converse with great minds by the books that they have written. Don't just converse with a lot of comedy. I was talking about musicians. I said that when you listen to the lyrics of some musicians, the theology, the doctrines behind their music, you will know that this one was an intellectual. And the other ones that are singing for us to dance, that after the dancing we have nothing, you know that they don't research, they don't read anything. They just put anything there for money. Those who are trying to change the minds of the people research. So there are deep things that they understand. That's why they bring out those lyrics. And so when the music in the air, they prove the content that the musicians have put in themselves. If you're a footballer, the same. If you're not reading and you don't have depth, they will trick you. You will sign contracts that you don't know. When you come out of the career, you will not be able to do anything. You will not be able to build anything beyond that. Why? Because you didn't put anything in yourself. You're a civil servant, you're a government worker. If you're not reading and they say that you go out, you see that your life has changed. You have nothing and you become miserable. He said, what did I work for? In as much as you can blame them if you want to, what you didn't do is that you didn't stretch your mind. You didn't go deep. You didn't go deep to pick things. You know, those of us who are religious, when Jesus caught them, they said that we have taught the whole night and we don't have anything. He said, so go to the deep. It means that go extra. The treasure is in the depth. I'm saying that it's in books. A lot of the questions that you ask, the answers are already there in books. If you continue to read them, it's not like anybody is so genius. No, a lot of things is because they have spent a lot of time to read. And that's why you see a lot of these big business people around the world. If there is something that separates them from the ordinary person, it's the books that they are constantly reading. Many of them, they have read when they were young, when they were children, and even now that they are old, they are constantly reading. And in our part of the world, you hardly hear business people telling us, go and read, go and search, go and stretch your mind. No, they don't do that. You know, so that's why we rely on government contracts. That's why we are always trying to look for something to do. It means that the journey becomes so difficult that people start to believe that it's not possible for anybody to do it without becoming a criminal. But the solution is in the depth, is the concentration of knowledge, is in the acquisition of knowledge over time. And you don't build that less than 10 years. You have to constantly build this, and it's going to take you a while. When you get to a stage, you start to have proper understanding of things. And that is why you start to carry so much load and you're still not tired, because you have built that strength within. I'm saying that if you're a young man, time is on your side. Read, challenge yourself. It's not just you working. It's not just you building the business. Spend more time digging than you just exerting a lot of physical energy. Say, I want to work. Yeah, it's work, but acquire knowledge. Because when you have knowledge, what somebody will spend 10 hours to do, you will spend 1 hour to do. Why? Because then you're precision, you're precise in your decision making. And there's a lot of things that you have to know. If you don't have any knowledge about anything, then you are going to destroy it. You're going to destroy it. If they give you tie now, if they give you foam and you have never seen foam before, you can use it as a hammer because the knowledge on it is so weak. You know, so you have treasure, but you may not know the worth of it because your knowledge is weak. And in the volumes of the books, those of you who go to church. So mysteries are in books. People have spent their time to dig and put their thoughts in books. One book can change your life. One book can shift the course of your life. So don't play. And you know yourself. You have not read much. You have game. You could perceive it from here to here. Even those of you who are doing business, from one you are chasing contract all the time. Every day you get up in the morning, you're running. The whole year, no one book. No, nothing. No. Read. Get to the internet. Read. Push yourself. Search. And when you're reading and you come across any word, if you don't understand it, Google it. Build that. Because you cannot. Sometimes you're talking to people, you use another word, they don't know, they don't have any clue. They use this, they don't have any clue. So what are you going to build? You're not going to build much. So you need that. And sometimes my friend, one of my friends, he's a professor, he said, oh, come around, okay, come on. No, it's true. Especially those of you who want to build business. Read, buy books, search them. And when you're reading them, look at the things that can apply here. But if nothing at all, if your people are not writing, go and look for books. Read. You have 50 years, you're 60 years, you're 70 years, read. If nothing at all, read as leisure. But read. Read books. Don't just read, don't just be looking for supernatural. Read. A lot of things that you're looking for supernatural, they are really within your power. It's because the knowledge that you have around it is not that strong. That's why you think that is beyond you. And if you can put anything in your chart, get them to read. Get them the skill that they have to read for life. Not for the exam alone. Pass the exam, get the grade A, the grade B, is okay. But it ends there. It can get you a job. But for you to get results in life and progress, you need to read. You need to build yourself. You need to. It gives any of us, no matter our background, maybe all your parents are gone, you have nobody to support you, but you have money to buy bread. And if you have money, 10 cedis to buy bread, use half to buy book and half to buy bread. Because that book will bring more bread to you. That book, don't play with book. Don't play it. When you come to a house, there are so many books. I've packed some of them. Read. Let them think that you are crazy. Any little time that you get, read. Open a book. Search. That is how you build mental capacity. That's how you build strength. There are a lot of people who are not so smart, but because they constantly read, they are far better. You can see that their life is organized. But sometimes when I cast my mind around our people, he has gone to school, all right, but he doesn't read anything. And he has opinion over everything. Your productivity, the level of your precision will come from the level of knowledge that you have acquired. It's important. It's important. So reading, today we are talking about reading. It's a game changer. You say you don't have anybody to help you. When you start to read the right books, you start to change your language. You start to change your language. You become responsible. You start to operate at a level that many would not understand you. So you build mental strength, you position yourself to succeed in life, you operate with different knowledge, and you're able to handle criticism and opposition and mistakes because your mind is broadened. So expand your horizon, your mental horizon, expand it. Read from every critical subject. You know, during slavery and colonization, they made sure, especially slavery, they said that don't teach these people how to read and write. It was illegal. Don't teach them how to read and write. It was illegal. Why? Because they knew that if you had that tool to read and write, you could find a lot of things out and you become strong. They knew it. They knew it. So keep them ignorant. Once you are kept ignorant, you'll be slave forever. Once you are kept ignorant, you'll be slave forever. So you want to bring freedom to people, bring them knowledge. And I'm saying that one of the greatest tools is you reading. Challenge your mind, challenge yourself. Read a book a month, read 2 books a month, 3 books a month. Read for life. Read about finance, read about business, read about health, read about how we can organize our society as a people, how we can rejuvenate our culture, how we can reduce the sports and entertainment and the politics and the religion and go into innovation and entrepreneurship and industry and production and farming and technology. Because when those things are in abundance, that is how you switch. You're not going to create prosperity by just talking about politics. When the level of exposure in terms of books is low, you see that the prominent are not even aware of the critical things that the masses need to change their lives. Why? Because there's a certain level of knowledge that you operate with. You know, so you need to challenge yourself. Say, I'm going to read, I'm going to search it. Google it. Now we live in a time that you can just Google it. What books can change my life? Just Google it and read them. And the more you read them, you start to find your path. The more you read them, you start to find your path. So read. It is necessary to make you successful. If you see a young man with books, challenging. Sometimes when you meet somebody who has read books that you have read, you can talk at a very yesterday I called one of my friends. He's a wide, you know, he reads a lot. And we're talking, and we could go from one subject to the other, one subject to the other, because it's wide read. The other friends that you call, you can just talk about, you know, some other things because they don't read. You never see them with any book. And they say that they want to be successful. It's difficult for you to become successful on your own path when you are not reading. When you're not reading, because it builds your inner strength. It builds your inner strength. So read. Read your history, read about finance, read about your identity, read about systems, technical skills, read about things, read about money, read about all the things that you need to fight life with. Once you get a certain level of knowledge, you will refuse to be a slave. You start to take charge of your life. You start to take charge of your mind. You start to, you know, the reason they keep a lot of people in darkness is because they don't reveal the knowledge to them. That's why they can pack a lot of people and give them hope that I will change your life because I've prayed for you, I've changed your life. If the person is not going for knowledge, his life is not going to change. The number one principle that anybody can use to change their lives is knowledge. So you have to go and find it, fish it. Because the knowledge that you have actually acquired, you're convinced of it. And you can put up strong argument because you have mastered knowledge acquisition. So the more you know, the less they can trick you. And the knowledge that you have acquired, you will be seen in the way you talk, the way you do your things. It will be different. So you want to catch up with others, start to read. You want to catch up, start to read. Read about things that you have never heard of. Google complex things. You know, they talk about Elon Musk and all those guys. When they talk, look at the words that they use, the technology that they talk about. It's not because they're sleeping, they're searching. You know, those that the systems even have been set for them. You that know the systems have been set against you. You are rather sleeping. So how are you going to be successful? So you see that a lot of our people will struggle in life. Why? Because there's no system set for you to be successful. And then you are not also building your own. building your mental structure so that you can fight. So the only thing you will say, of course, the system must vent. So you will see that the negativity will start to come out. Because when you put nothing in you, negativity will come out. It's only when you intentionally put something in you that you start to talk about the things, the hope. You bring hope out of you. You bring the positivity out of you. You bring the possibility out of you. Why? Because you intentionally, if a land is bare, if you see maize there, it's because somebody intentionally put the maize there. If you see a maize farm, cocoa farm, somebody intentionally put those there. The ones that nobody put them there, you see weed. So when you are not intentionally building something in you, what will come out will not be something that you really need. So you see it in your life. You see that you start to see weeds in your life because you did not intentionally put something that you needed in your life. So it's not optional. It's not optional. It's not reading of books is not optional. It is life. And all great minds are obsessed with reading. All great minds, whether they are sports or they are entertainers or they are politicians, they are writers, they are business people, whatever, all great change people, all those who bring change, they read. They are hungry for knowledge. That is what separates them from the others who are joking. So if you can read, then don't destroy that gift. Read. Constantly read. Read. And it's not the religious books that I'm talking of. Talking about things that will make people because people are reading. So read. That's how you bring argument. Because something about human life is that you're always talking to yourself. So if you don't have strong mental structure, you will always talk to yourself negatively. So if you're a young person, read. Don't joke with it. It's not my bet. It's not cha-cha. Life is not cha-cha. Life is not you trying to wait so that you can steal somebody's money. No. Life is not you trying to trick. No. When you have put proper content in you, somebody's money will not be attracted to you. You'll not be attractive. You don't need it because you so much have confidence in yourself that you can build something with the level that you have because you have really put something in yourself. But if you're working and you're cutting corners, you're doing all kind of things because your philosophy of life is weak. You have not put enough strength in you. That's why the only thing that comes to your mind is change the invoice. So somebody is bringing something, you are working in the same company, they are supplying something and you want to go behind them and take 30% because you don't know how to do it without you cheating. And it's not your fault, it's because you didn't put knowledge in you. So read, challenge yourself. I'm not talking of a good morning, something. No, talking of you reading for life. Reading for life. Read, search books. Go read constantly. That is how you live. As a matter of fact, I think life is more fulfilled in books than any other place. the joy of life is in books more than any other place. And you can pick and read and connect a lot of things. The very complex problem that you couldn't understand, by the time you finish reading that book, you start to see it in a different light. So read. Tell yourself, I'm going to be a student of life. I'm going to challenge myself. Don't finish school without reading at least 20 books. From first year university to final year university, at least 20 books you should finish. Every year, you should read at least 5 books. Nothing at all. And that one will take you out of your friends. When your friends complete school and they are carrying CVs and they are going from one business to the other and nobody wants to employ them, you pick any idea and turn that idea into a business. Because you would have put a lot of content in you. And that content that you put in you will chart your life. You will never feel like you're not able. Never. No matter the difficulties, you always feel like you are able to change this. And you will not be crying for help. Because you live in a different realm. But if you are the one that you say read, you say, no, I don't need it. When you finish, you'll be looking for a CV. And if they don't get you CV, you'll be looking at Saudi Arabia and Iraq and America and Saudi, you'll be looking for Canadian visa. Say that when I get out of Ghana, there's nothing in Ghana. There's nothing in Ghana because you have not put anything in you. Those who know, they know that there's something here. And it takes knowledge, investment. So read books. Challenge your thought constantly. Yes, I agree. The foreign books, they don't apply, but then people are not writing. So if you have discovered some things, write books so that people can read. But if nothing at all, at least glean the principles from those books. Pick the principles. If they say that follow time, at least this is time. But read. Get something to read. Occupy your mind. Or your mind will go everywhere. You want a successful life, and you don't read anything about anything. You want successful marriage, you don't read anything about marriage. You want successful business, you don't read anything. You just believe that it will change. You want successful anything. You want successful fashion business, constantly read. There are other ways that you can acquire knowledge, but today we are talking about books. Books. Read. And once you start to read, you see it. You start to have confidence in yourself. You start to have ability. You start to see that, the thing, I can do it. You start to see what the blessings that you have. You start to see. And it does not matter where you live. Just get books. Just read. Constantly. You say, he's reading, there's nothing. Continue to read. It's like you filling water. Pouring water in the cup, it will flow. That knowledge that you continue to put in yourself will push you. It's a force, it's a dynamite. Knowledge, they say, is power. So how can you have power and not move? It's almost impossible. It's always impossible. So read. That's one of the things that I think we found a way to, You just happened to come in contact with it, and we started to buy books. We didn't know what we were even reading. We didn't know, but we're reading. We're reading all. There's almost no religious leader that have not read their books. There's almost no business person that we hear their name globally that have not read their books. We read them. And then later I shrank it to history, to things that really work in our country. But at least we started to look for that. Look for knowledge. We have so many graduates who don't read anything. You put them aside, they sit in their car, they don't listen to anything, they don't read anything. They just say that don't you see it? So read, search. Tell yourself, I'm going to search, I'm going to read. And they organize your thought. They change you. So if you're a young man, you're working anywhere, one of the things that you become sharp is because you're reading. And your leaders in those businesses, in those companies, those who are very much up to task, they read. And so when they see that you are reading, they see what is in you. Any great leader in any enterprise, in any business, in any company, in any organization, when they see you as a young man with books, they know, they will study you, they know that you're exceptional, because that is what got them there. So when they know, they will call you and say, come, let's discuss something. When they see book, I've got a friend for life. I went to Accra Mall one time. This was about maybe 16 years ago. I was in Accra Mall, and my friend was holding a very fat book. I didn't know him. So we were going to buy something. I saw him. I said, so what is this book about? Then they had written some history and slavery, something. I said, so who are they saying the book is about? And he started to share so many things with me. And my friend is always reading. He's a consultant to government from another African country. We became friends just by that. And he's one of my best friends. And he's always reading. Constantly reading. He's a great mind. He's selfless. He's one of the people that who you need anything and you call him, you just say, okay, yes, come for it. He's not in competition with anybody because of the knowledge that he has. So he has this. It's not just because his heart is good. No, he's actually true himself. So many of your friends that you call that who you think they are big men that you call that they don't pick is because they don't read anything. They have not matured. They have not gone to a certain stage of life that they are selfless. As a matter of fact, leaders who are so corrupt are not students of life. They don't read. They don't search much. Those who are searching, they are looking at what they can do for the next generation. Because they have light. That's something about reading. You have light, and darkness cannot stay with light. You know, so that my friend, his name is my good friend now. He's moved out of Ghana, but we talk often. And he's one of the people that you know, if you need anything, and he's the one that you call who give you. Even if he cannot meet it, he will tell you that he will recommend you. He will give you solution. And he's never in competition. And I saw that is the reading. It's the book. There's so much he understands. So when we meet, we can talk about so many things. Because his mind is mature. He did engineering. He did MBA. He did computer science. He did PhD in some policy, very wide read. He meets with government. He discusses a lot of things. But so sober, so kind, so respectful, so accommodating, so forbearing. So when you meet them and they are giddy and arrogant and they are rolling their keys and telling you, do you know who I am? It's because they don't have any knowledge. They have certificate, yes. But they don't have knowledge. Because knowledge will make you sober. Knowledge will make you considerate. Knowledge will make you kind. Those without it, they are the ones trying to tell you that you are Masa Winning baby Ayako. So, so read. Those who know, when they meet you, they know the level of knowledge that you have. The way you go about things, the way you talk, they know it. They know you're not searching. So read. It will take you, it will make you a substance. Read. If you can read. If you cannot read, find a way. Get audio, get tape, get video. Constantly go for knowledge. But today we are talking about reading. So my name is OBENG DARKO. And then internet in high. So but I see that people are determined and they were still there until we were able to sort it out. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Knowledge is everything. Don't play with it. You think that your future is somewhere. Your future is the knowledge that you're acquiring. The books that you're reading for life, that's where your future is. So it will build your mind. Nothing will shake you. When everybody is panicking, you look at them. Because you have done that over years. So you're strong. And any little thing, you're okay with it. Any little, you're grateful. You're thankful for little things. Because you know what it takes. You have an idea. Don't just master one thing. Read a lot about almost everything. Read a lot about almost everything. Because that's how you start to understand things. And so when you are building the business and you say it's so difficult, it's because your knowledge is in trouble. So that's why you're waiting. When the government changes, everything will be all right. It's true, maybe. See? Maybe. But the other one was there. You said it was not good. This one came, you say it's not good. Another one will come. You say something else. Because the main thing is you. If you develop yourself, then any little thing in your hand, you can do magic with it. There are so many testimonies that we hear. Young men who are farming maize, those who have started their businesses, those who are doing something. What changed is the knowledge that came to them. So you are there complaining, but somebody is there building. Because there's no knowledge. There's a way that they look at themselves differently. The other day, a young man sent me a message. He said, I went through this stage. I went to America and now I'm in somewhere. And when I got the message, when I listened to you, I started to see myself differently. And I told my mother that I can do things now. She should not worry about me. I have found myself. You need to read to find yourself. Read to find your strength. Read to find why you were born. What you have to contribute before you die. Read to find yourself how you will not be poor all your life. Read to find yourself so you will know who is in need of the talent and the expertise that you have. Read to find yourself to see what you can do to change our continent. Read to find yourself so that you can be proud of yourself as an African. Read to find yourself. Read, search. The answers are in the books. The answers, they are in the books. A friend of mine who is an African American brought me 3 books, fat books. I'm still reading them. Fat books. You know? And one of my friends is Mike, is in America. He also, any books that he finds, he sends me. Said, have you read this book? When you talk to your friend, what do you do? Have you seen that girl? That's what you are talking about. He sends me, have you found this book? I read it. These are the things that I found. Find them. Read them. I will send them to you. Do you need a hard copy or a soft copy? Which of your friends is recommending book to you? Which of your friends? Is there any friend recommending any book that you read that your finances will change? That your perspective about things will change, will improve? Which of your friends? Tell me, which friends? What you and your friends, your close friends, your best friends, what do you discuss? You discuss what? The Kufado and President Mama? Or how to get out of Ghana, how things are so difficult? What do you discuss? Or he's recommending books that will make you build a factory. Build a business, take the business to the other side. You know. So get people search. You and is there together? I bring any book. The book here. They stay somewhere. They are not anything. Let's go and do most important things. The books in your hand, they are your future. The book that you're reading today is the future that you're creating. The one that you're reading today is the future that you're creating. If you didn't read any book, we will not be talking today. Never. Never. We won't be talking. What are you going to say? And if you don't know, many of the top people that you see, many of the belief is not for you to do well. Their belief is that they will do well. If you don't know. So if you're waiting for somebody to get somewhere and come and lift you, you'll be late. And that's why we say that equip yourself. Build yourself so that you become buoyant, so that you can take your destiny in your own hands. This one, somebody saying that build yourself so that you can take the load and face life. Don't debate that one. Because your greatness is in the responsibility that you take. Also, another person, so that is in your hands. Even if your parents were rich, they will go. It will be what you have got, what you have developed. So what are you putting in yourself today so that when they go and you take over, you prove? You cannot get to any position and do what you don't have. And this is the time to put something in yourself. And I've seen that many of our people, we don't talk about book, we don't read anything. A lot of them, it doesn't matter. MBA holders, PhD holders, they don't read anything. If they read some textbook, it's not for life. It's not for building anything. Hardly. If you are able to count 10 for life, you're in a good company. Many of your friends are looking for money. Many of your friends are looking for God to change their destiny. That is why people are praying, tons of hours, for God to change their lives. The economy It's not tons of hours. God coming to change anything. It is in your productivity. What you do, what I do, that is what is going to change anything. You know, they build the argument and put it in the realm that as if you are not capable. You are capable. You are capable of doing something. And they will say that, do you know what other people who are successful do in their room? They are not doing anything in their room. They are not doing anything. They work. They put their mind to work. That's why they are successful. They know how to build a company. They know how to develop a product. They know how to sell products. They know how to raise the funds. They know how to connect with great minds. They know how to lead a team. They know how to be patient, to be frugal. They know how to be resourceful. These are the things that they know. That's why they are successful. There's no magic anywhere. If you have that something that they're sacrificing every day in their room, that is why it is not about your hard work. All of us are working hard. It's not true. If you have these things, you'll be successful. If you have these things, if you're reading, you're searching, your discipline, you build the right network, you're trustworthy, you're mysterious. It's not superstition. Out of reach of mankind, within our reach. Just the other day that you started about your business, have you not seen growth? I've seen their lives reorganized because they started to hear different things. It's not magic. But in our country, in Africa, they will tell you, even those who are very sincere, they will still be putting somewhere so that they can always continue to, control you, control your thought, manage your thoughts, so that you continue to bring money to them. I tell you, in this life, if you have the right skills and the right tools, nothing, you don't have to get up and cry and be hopeless of your future. No. And God is not against anybody. It is you taking responsibility and knowing the level of knowledge that you have and what you have to keep adding to your knowledge and what you have to read and search. If they continue to say, come and pray, and they are not telling you to read and build your knowledge, your life will not change. Change is the one who collecting the money. The rest of you will be disappointed. And that's why many of you have been disappointed for the last 10 years, 20 years. You have just gone, nothing has changed. A lot of it will depend on the quality of knowledge that you make or you take to make decision. And if your decisions are not right, your life is not going to go the right way. So it's not, don't mind them. There's, somebody that I know is always trying to look away. So what is your secret? There's no secret anyway. Read, get knowledge, apply. If it doesn't work, go back, replan, apply. Continue to search, read. It frees you. You become light. Don't plan to cheat people, to lie to people. Let people know that if you're dealing with me, if the money is 10 cedi, it's 10 cedi. If it's 20 cedi, it's 20 cedi. That's why people start to trust you. But you are saying that 100 Ghana that you have worked for is better than the million that you stole. You say no. So who will give you a million to keep? Because you will steal it. That's why you're not getting it. And even if you steal it, you will be caught, you see. And some of them have those that you think that they will not be caught, they will be caught one way or the other. Because the money that you build skill sets to make is the one that stays with you. Because when you lose it, you can still produce it because you have the right skill set to produce it. You have the right fortitude to bring it back. So my name is OBENG DARKO. We are talking of reading. And I'm saying that it doesn't matter the village you come from. It doesn't matter whether your parents had you when they were 15 years. It doesn't matter where you didn't have anybody to support you. It really does not matter. Can you see a book around the corner? Open it. Read it. Read about finance, read about life, read about management, read about how to, a technical mechanic, read about it. Maybe you're a seamstress, read about it. Maybe you're a musician, your professor, read about it. Your doctor, continue to search. Get proper journals, read about them. That is what is going to separate you from everybody else. That is what is going to separate you from everybody else. You read to apply. You read for life. Your life will change because of the books that I see in your hands. So if there's no book in your room and you have a lot of music in your room, your life is not going anywhere. And that's why you think that you cannot do anything unless somebody gives you a job. And that's why you think that your job will change your life. And you have taught that for 10 years. The money that they pay you, you're still wasting it because you think that one day they'll increase your salary and your life will change. No. It's the big money that you're looking for is the money that is coming to you in small. So if you're not taking care of your small money, the big one will never come. Because everybody who is doing anything great knows how to handle the small money that is coming. They are not waiting for who is going to give you 10 million. They're trying, but the 1,000 that came, if you know